mention it because I'd have to spend an hour on it.
Right.
Listener, this is not a joke. I'm not joking.
You're lying. You're falsifying. You're stretching. You're making things up.
Pay your carbon taxes to Al Gore, or space aliens will attack.
Okay.
The biggest newspaper in England and in Europe.
They're two different places, Alex.
Language for folks that don't get taught English in public schools here in the U.S.
Well, considering your grasp on it, who knows?
Pay your carbon taxes to Al Gore, or space aliens will attack. A NASA program funded by NASA's Planetary Science Division. This is the London Guardian.
Okay.
The article breaks it down, but here's the London Guardian.
Oh, written by Paul Watson.
Destroy humanity, protect other civilizations, say scientists.
Okay. Now, as usual, I need to bust Alex on this. Sorry, Alex, but your lies are just getting a little too much. This is the first day of the carbon tax in Australia. Probably my favorite country in the whole world. The bill. What teabaggers and people like Alex Jones knows. He knows exactly what carbon tax is. Teabaggers may not. What carbon tax is? It's not a tax at all. Okay, it's not a tax whatsoever. There's no tax to it. Okay, what carbon tax, as they call it, what it is, it's a fucking penalty. Okay, it's a penalty. Who will be penalized? Okay, people like Alex, they're going to tax the air you breathe. They're going to take your children from you if you don't pay the carbon tax. Oh! That's bullshit. And Alex knows it. He's, just whipping up fear to sell t-shirts and DVDs and shit. Okay, carbon tax is a penalty. Who's going to pay carbon tax? Okay, let's see. In Australia, it's the top 500 most polluting corporations in the country. That's who's going to pay the fucking tax. Not you. Not, that nigger in the White House is going to take my job. He's going to take my guns. You're way too stupid to know anything about any sort of carbon tax. Okay? There's no such thing as a carbon tax. It's a penalty. Okay? It's like in California when I lived there. If you had a car that spewed out exhaust and shit, you'd have to pay a penalty for it. Because people don't want to breathe dirty fucking air. All right, I'm sorry, I don't want to breathe coal smoke and burning fucking tires, which the Tea Party seems to have no problem with doing. What Alex is what his lies are doing. He's getting it whipped up because he is paid by nefarious people. He's whipping this thing up with carbon tax, that Al Gore is behind this carbon tax. No, it's not. He has nothing to do with that. It's a penalty for corporations who fucking pollute. That's what carbon tax is. You're not going to pay it because you're too stupid to own a corporation. You may have worked for one, but you're not smart enough to own a corporation that would pollute. And I'm sure your big old pickup truck, I'm sure it does pollute. Okay, I'm sure you're real proud of that because you're sticking it to Al Gore or whatever. It's not a carbon tax that you're not gonna see it on your paycheck. Okay, you're not gonna see FICA, Social Security, carbon tax. You're not gonna see that. It's a penalty for corporations who fucking pollute. That's what it is. That's all it is. You're not going to pay it. I'm not going to pay it. Nobody I know is going to pay it. It's for corporations who pollute. And what they do, what people like Fox does, because they're bought and sold by the hour, they rail against it because these corporations pay Fox and they pay people like Alex Jones to rail against it. Okay, they don't want it. They don't want to have to pay for spewing out toxic waste and toxic air. I kind of like things clean around me. I like things clean. I don't want to live in a world of smog and shit floating down the river. I'm glad to see Australia is progressive enough and they're forward thinking enough. The majority of people in Australia want it. They don't want Australia to turn out like America, with fucking rivers that caught on fire. I'm old enough to remember that. I'm old enough to remember the mid 70s and the late 70s when it was a much dirtier place. The manufacturing, the heavy manufacturing in America, yeah, it's gone, but it's not coming back. And it has nothing to do with carbon tax. It's economics, okay? When you can pay Chinese slaves to make something for $1 a day that would cost $17 an hour, of course they're going to go to China. Shit. But carbon tax has nothing to do with it. Al Gore has nothing to do with it, okay? That's just it. Alex is paid to rant against carbon tax, even though he knows what it really is. He knows what carbon tax is. He's just not telling you. Okay, this is disinformation. This Alex Jones, this channel that he's got and all this shit, it's just disinformation. He's lying to you. Let's go back. He mentioned something about the Guardian, that if you pay your carbon taxes to Al Gore, space aliens will attack. All right, well let's look at this. Let's take a little look. Here we go. The Guardian. Now, this is an op-ed. Okay, this is an opinion editorial. All right, it's someone's opinion. Aliens may destroy humanity to protect other civilizations, say scientists. Okay, this is what it is. Now, who wrote it? All right, nice picture too. Who wrote it is these people. This highly speculative scenario is one of several described by NASA-affiliated scientists and colleagues at Pennsylvania State University. So NASA didn't write this, okay? Alex is like, oh, NASA wrote it. Yeah, NASA, they wrote it. Okay, this is one guy who put together Sean Donegal-Goldman of NASA's Planetary Science Division. Okay, his colleagues compiled a list of plausible outcomes that could unfold in the aftermath of a close encounter to help humanity prepare for actual contact. So this has nothing to do with carbon taxes whatsoever, Alex, and your little buddy, Paul Watson from Liverpool. You're lying, dude. You've been caught lying once again. In their report, would contact with extraterrestrials benefit or harm humanity? A scenario analysis. This has nothing to do with carbon taxes. This has nothing to do with carbon taxes. This is the same. This is the same thing. Back in the 50s and 60s, that they said, UFOs are coming to warn humanity about the horrors of nuclear power. Well, a lot of people said that. Who knows? I mean, do UFOs exist? I don't know. I mean, I've never seen one. I've seen a couple of ghosts. Yeah, I believe in that. But this thing with Watson and Jones, this is not, none of what you said is true. The only thing that you said was true was that somebody wrote a report. Dude, I've written hundreds of reports in my lifetime. Okay, my university thesis was what America would be like if the Vietnam War had never happened. Now, of course, all these people, these teabaggers, we won Vietnam. Yeah, right. Yeah, you fucking won Vietnam. Yeah, what did you win? 55,000 people, coffins? You won all those coffins filled with heroin? This is an op-ed, somebody from the Guardian, a real conservative, real right-wing newspaper out of England. When I lived in England, I've read it a few times. It's just bilge. What this report was about what would happen if ET landed. Now there have been countless reports and speculation about what would happen if aliens arrived. The most unappealing outcomes would arise if extraterrestrials caused harm to humanity, even if by accident, while aliens may arrive to eat, enslave, or attack us. The report adds that people might also suffer from being physically crushed or by contracting diseases carried by the visitors. This does not mention Al Gore. Not one fucking word is mentioned that says Al Gore. Okay, and it also says that what they're saying here, this report was amended on 19 August 2011. The subhead said the report was for NASA. This has been corrected, meaning that NASA took a look at this and said, this is bullshit. They're smearing the good name of NASA. Some guy, he probably lost his job over this. If you work for somewhere like NASA and you write bullshit like this and put it out as truth, they're gonna, they're gonna do something to you. Aliens may destroy humanity to protect other civilizations. Okay. Rising greenhouse emissions could tip off aliens that we are rapidly expanding threat, warns the report. I'm going to tell you something about greenhouse emissions. They're not going to reach into outer space. I know that most teabaggers are probably unaware of this, but space is above us, not heaven. Okay, it's just space. All right, they're not coming for you. ET's not coming for you. In the grand scheme of things, if you want to look at it this way, if aliens have the technology to travel intergalactically, interstellar travel, trust me, they're going to encounter a planet where tribes essentially, we're essentially tribes, hate each other, and we put powder into a metal tube along with a little piece of lead and shoot it at each other for control of dead dinosaur matter, dead plant matter, and little pieces of wood pulp with ink all over them. That's essentially what we are. Okay, that's how they would look at us as. They're not going to look at us, oh my God, they're an intergalactic threat. No. They're going to look at us the same way that we look at amoeba in a Petri dish. Okay, they're not going to care. They're not going to give two shits whether we're putting out greenhouse gases. Okay. Alex, you're so full of shit, dude. Al Gore threat. I mean, Paul Watson is too. I don't know when you got involved with this guy, with this Alex Jones charlatan. I don't know when you got involved with him, but dude, you. I don't know. I mean, I guess for you, sitting there in Liverpool and, I guess living in your parents' basement or something. You want some fame. You want to be associated with this guy. Paul Watson, dude, think twice because you're getting dragged into somebody who is not a good person. I think they used to be a good person. Don't tell lies, dude. Just don't tell lies. I mean, seriously, you've been caught telling lies. Don't get involved with this guy. He's a fucking charlatan. Pay your carbon taxes to Al Gore's space aliens will attack versus an op-ed. Okay? Jesus, man. All right. Alex, you keep telling lies, I'm going to keep busting you on it. And there are plenty of other people who are doing the same thing. Fucking moron.